Combating dark energy. Dark energy builds up energy blocks. Through time, these blocks continue to build and prevent you from ascending. When things go south, review your notes. I always come back to this point. When something is not working out, I have notes that I have selected, I have edited down and condensed. And whenever I need, I always go back to those notes and refresh my energy, my thoughts from my higher self, from my ego self, from my energy of duality. And that usually gets me through any stubborn energy blocks. And when it comes to reviewing your notes, yes, this is processing information from an ego self level. But what will happen is that you will begin to slightly ascend your energy as your higher self syncs up with your ego self, and you will begin to have a greater overview on a macro level. These are your own unique insights into your energy. Your main notes will be the very best advice that you have gathered, advice you've gathered through this program, and perhaps your own unique insights. And that's what's going to really help you break through certain energy blocks. When our inner energy goes down, it even feels like amnesia. Recalling your insights and techniques will pull your energy back into a more flexible point from where you can operate. Having your own insights at arm's length will help you on a micro level. Knowing what to do for the moment being, you then should also zoom out and see things from a macro level from your universal point of view. You do this by going through the process you have developed within duality. Then you can merge your energy of duality from a micro level and a macro level and use that to take action moving forward. One thing to watch out for. You might feel like you are busy or don't have time to review your notes, your insights, or your energy. Perhaps this is when you most need to just take a moment and take these steps because they consist of regathering your energy in order to move forward. When you just take that little pause and you refresh yourself, perhaps with something that you completely forgot about, perhaps a technique, a process, an insight, or just an energy stream, and you're able to make that connection again, it's sort of like it comes back to you and you realize that you had this option all along. You had this key that you could use in order to break through whatever was standing in your way or whatever energy was bothering you at that time. When life gets busy, it's easy to forget our overall journey. Coming back to your own insights and techniques will help get you back on track. Dark energy can mean any complex issue or energy block you are facing. Let's move towards simplifying and taking action towards that issue. Go to the core of the problem and move towards fixing what is preventing you from ascending. Again, go to the core of the problem and fix what is preventing you from actually ascending. Oftentimes, solutions are near us, yet it might take time for us to truly see them as solutions. So simply continue to feel relaxed, continue to feel focused, and continue to take action. Try out different things. Perhaps a simple matter such as going that extra step in communicating, saying those few words of kindness, that allows us to continuing to move forward. And simply things such as making things clear usually help. You don't know what will happen until you say those few extra words that open up a bridge of good energy. So give that a try if you're having conflict with someone. Take a step back if you have to. Check your ego self. Even if you're in the right, oftentimes we are in the right, yet we have to zoom out and see our ego self from a different perspective and know that we have options on how to deal with people or certain situations. We always have options, and sometimes when we most need those options, we might not see them. So that's why it is important to zoom out and even reference your notes if you have to. But once you know that you have things that you could say, additional things that you could perhaps do that will create a bridge towards good energy, towards ascension, allow yourself to explore those good options. And that now brings me to something that's somewhat the opposite, which I call energy urges. And let me begin by saying that we must not only find solutions to our energy blocks, but also prevent any sort of emotions or urges to surface and allow them to be pain where they have complete control over us. Okay, energy urges often emanate from within our fight or flight response, within your automatic framework, within your ego self. If you're able to break things down and pinpoint where they emanate from, it will be easier for you to deal with the issue. Begin by tracking them, knowing where they are, and how to go about diminishing them. A big part of solving energy blocks and energy urges is in pinpointing them. Again, this can be done from a place of knowing where they are and developing clarity, relaxation, focus, and taking action, and trying out new insights and new techniques if nothing else seems to be working. One unique way to deal with energy urges is to shift your actions and combat them, not only from an ego self pathway, but zooming out and dealing with them from a higher self perspective. And this is a point that perhaps I'll keep repeating. Perhaps you'll get tired of me saying that we have to zoom out and see things as a whole. But understand that there's so many dynamics around this. This is not only an insight, but it is a technique that we could practice. And the more we practice, the better we get at it. The more we visualize ourselves seeing down and zooming in to our ego self perspective on a ground level. And the more we develop our own notes, our own experience within these actions, the better we will get and the better results we will have. So I'm always going to continue to bring this up because it is the process that allows us to build our framework of energy that ultimately brings us ascension. And now I'm going to talk about how to deal with your energy urge from a higher self perspective. Talk to your urge or bad habit from the voice of your higher self, asking it to quell down and leave. Tell your urge that it's not what you want and it's not what you need. Believe in your words and allow your ego to appear and also agree with your higher self. These two sides of duality, looking down at this energy urge and confronting it. Now, this is powerful because it's not just your higher self perspective or your higher self energy that is asking this problem to leave, this urge, this bad flow of energy, but it's your higher self connecting with your ego self and having that ability to objectify that urge. Allow your duality to manifest its presence in asking your energy urge to leave. Tell yourself energy block that it's not welcome anymore. You could say, thank you for existing and bringing upon me the awareness I needed in order to learn and grow and evolve. Now that you have proven your point, you are no longer welcome and I no longer have a use for your existence. Now, your manifestation will gain a new sense of clarity and balance. Energy within you and within your universe will begin to shift. Your ego self and your higher self are now building a stronger bond within duality and becoming one. And those simple steps, those simple actions that you take that at times for some people might seem somewhat unreal, silly, or unproductive, once you start getting good at it, once you start developing your own energy towards that process, These are things that will help you clear your bad energy. It will help you communicate with your energy and with all those bad energies that oftentimes unknowingly come to us and remain. Sometimes we have fractions of other people's bad energies of our surroundings. And as you know, oftentimes you try to just think them out. We try to deal with them from a mental level. But when you apply this process, it helps put them away. It helps move them out into the ethers away from you. And what we're doing on another level is that we're breaking away from the past. We have moved away from reloading the why it happened and feeling like a victim. You have ascended within your own universal energy, and this is something that you feel within as you continue to evolve. For now, remember to keep things simple when taking action and processing a solution from an energy point. Sometimes we subconsciously gain energy to worry, think, or spend time with things that are not really productive or add any value to us. Let me give you some examples of this. Worrying about what your neighbor is doing and even allowing their mood to affect you in any way. Watching the news that just makes you worry and add no real value to your well-being. These are two things that I mentioned because I'm actually guilty of falling for these time and time again. So I mentioned them to recall them, to be able to actually work with them. And if you have issues, whether they're the same ones or whether you have other separate issues where your energy gets blocked, where your energy doesn't transfer, doesn't travel well, then simply recall these words that I'm saying here and see how they connect to finding a solution, to finding a way to heal and move forward. And let me just say that these subtle time wasters add up throughout our day and not only waste our time, but they contribute taking away from our good, vibrant energy. This is also what begins creating energy blocks that ultimately turn bigger and more damaging without us truly knowing their true source of origin. These are energy blocks that have the potential to cause us harm in a way that we lose our energy balance, and in turn, it prevents us from moving forward in our journey of ascension. Think of energy blocks as anchors that hold you down. The more energy blocks you have built, the harder it will be for you to move forward. And any heavy energy blocks will also prevent you from ascending in your journey. They will be like anchors holding you down. This is the reason why it is important that we get rid of energy blocks as soon as you detect them, as soon as they come across your radar. You can begin by leading with your higher self, within your duality. Gain a greater awareness of its center and fill it with light. We go through our days becoming suggestive with voices, with thoughts and energy of others, either directly or indirectly. Gain awareness of the suggestions of others, but shift to work with your energy from the perspective of your higher self. Move towards clearing your inner energy by filling yourself with healing light and letting go of any blocks. Let go of anything that does not contribute to your journey or contribute to the well-being of your energy in the now. So what is simple meditation or thought process or even your energy process is not enough to let go and clear away energy blocks. Here I will go more in depth in ways that you can clear such energy blocks. First, I will delineate the process each step of the way, and then I will offer a specific solution for each step of the process. For instance, when your inner energy begins to go astray and you lose awareness, solution is zoom out into a universal point of view and calibrate on how your energy is fluctuating. And the next one is when impulses begin to hit your inner energy subconsciously. And the solution is clear away any impulses by leading with your higher self. continue the process of seeing yourself from a universal point of view. The next one is when our ego self grows unexpectedly. And a solution for that would be to speak to your ego directly and quell any sort of negative energy within it. These are just some of the examples of actions that you can take. When you gain awareness and you catch yourself moving towards being unhealthy, being unproductive, not connecting with your true energy, you could develop your own problem solution process and incorporate that into the law of duality, energy of duality, streamline process. Another thing that I like to do in regards to my ego self is that I like to envision myself filling my ego self with a healing light, a light that communicates in what direction we should go. And perhaps you need to momentarily lead with your higher self before seeking to sync your ego with your higher self as one energy. Leading with your higher self completely allows you to be in charge and not feel the emotions and energy that your ego was piling onto you. Urges are ego-based. Fill your ego with a healing light that emanates from your higher self. Other actions you can take: 3S's technique, 3S's duality technique, improvising. Planning is key. Sometimes just the simple self-acknowledgement that we're making a mistake is the first step towards healing and ascending. And ego self-work, it's something that I'm always working on. Sometimes our ego is blinded to the fact that we are creating energy blocks and we're causing further hard or future blocks within our own journey. A blind spot within our journey can be the cause of much pain, and we don't even realize that we are making mistakes. We might have good intentions, but blind spots can produce really bad results. Can we admit to ourselves that sometimes we make mistakes that we need to correct in order to ascend in our journey? It is important to say this because nobody is perfect and we all make mistakes quite often on a daily basis. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or anything like that. It simply means that we're gaining awareness of our weaker spots, and it's okay to have weaker spots. But now that we gain awareness on them, it's time to find a way to bring a solution forward, an energy solution that can really help us go to the next level. Allow yourself to heal from bad energies, regardless of where they were created. Even if we created bad energies and energy blocks ourselves, don't feel judged or feel that someone else might be better than you. This is not how we should see things when clearing out energy blocks. Many times we will fight this, especially when it's coming from someone else, especially when it's coming from outside of who we are. And again, I should mention that oftentimes our defenses fight back and we're not open to finding pathways to heal, to let go of the past, to let go of being a victim. And it's up to you on what labels you want to use, but my suggestion, and this is just my suggestion, is that we are survivors because some of us have gone through some traumatic experiences, some very challenging moments in our past, in our journey. And ultimately, it is up to us if we want to see ourselves as a victim of a crime or a victim of a circumstance, or if we want to see ourselves as survivors of circumstances, survivors of something that happened. And when we stop fighting and feeling like others are dumping all these bad energy or bad experiences upon us, and we see things as energies that are not a part of us, and we're able to get rid of those bad energies, and we continue to bloom our good energies, our good source of ego, our good source of higher self, we then realize that ascension could go to a much higher level than we ever thought it could go. And if you feel that energy blocks continue to grow exponentially, if you feel that you are at a point right now where there's just so much stress, anxiety, issues that you have to deal with, then a good place to start is to simply visualize your energy through your higher self and allow a calm demeanor to grow within you. We might need to shift our decision making or our perspective just a bit in order to align with our journey and with the journey of those around us. And let me just say again that you are not a victim of circumstances. You will be a survivor of many challenges thrown at you. So rise above your path with the ascension that your higher self provides. And if you're being attacked at the very moment, then respond accordingly with your energy. And if it's after the fact, then rise above with your higher self. The discovery of new truths and new energies will give you new options. Move beyond seeing things as right or wrong, but more through a journey of ascension in which you will experience a healing process. Just as energy blocks in unforeseen circumstances are thrown at you, realize that it's all part of a journey of duality. Accept what you cannot control. We are merely part of an overall journey from a higher source. The sooner we stop placing blame, the sooner we will begin to heal, and the sooner we will begin to let go of the past. This is how your spirit grows and evolves to new levels that you never imagined before. You become stronger from an ego self level, and your higher self becomes more focused on that journey that yourself is taking. And one last thing, what is vicious about dark energy is that sometimes it just hits us out of nowhere. The element of surprise is powerful, and we automatically move to react from our ego self. Everything just happens so fast. So what can we do? Well, this is why energy of duality is so effective, because as soon as it hits us, we can zoom out and track down what we're going through from a point of view of detachment, from a point of view of our higher self. Have faith, and you will move beyond any negative energy. Faith plus action can be a powerful combination. And at times you will feel hurt, you will feel dejected, you will feel like your spirit is broken. But remember, everything comes and goes. It soon will pass. No energy, regardless of how potently bad or evil it is, no energy ever lasts forever. Within time, any hurt or pain will diminish. Your higher self will allow you to once again ascend. Your higher self will heal you, and you will become one with duality. And one day you will resonate these words, I'm over it. And I love saying these words because they bring so much power to the present moment. I'm over it. And I like to incorporate this into my own process where I ask a couple of questions mixed in with a couple of dynamic mantras. For instance, I like to say, that is who I was, and this is where I am now. And I like to further ask, who is the person I am becoming once I let go of all the extra layers that have been gathered upon me? I'm feeling a new journey ahead. Why? Because I'm over it. I'm over all the energy blocks that I have left behind. And now I'm over it and I am ascending.